Let's get this show on the road, shall we? Welcome back to Dane Scott's Truckers Lounge. Before we take a look at the General and give him his due salutes today, I want to just take care of a few pieces of business that I've been trying to get in some videos, and there's really no perfect place to put them. So this is just information that some of you viewers send to me, questions that you have that you want to share with other viewers and get some input, see if anybody has any information. And also anytime someone has a old school truck for sale, or they're looking for memorabilia. I always struggle with that word. But so anyway, let's take care of some quick business and then we'll get to the General. How's that? All right, first up is a good friend of mine that helped provide a lot of the material that you saw in the memorabilia episode. I think that was the last one or whatever, maybe two back. He is looking for some old school trucker magazines that I've never heard of, but he has some, and he loves these magazines probably just as much as I would love them if I seen them. But they're called Ag Trucking, AG Trucking, and those are old school. Those are back from the 60s, probably 70s. Also, there was some magazines in the late 80s, roughly he said, that are called American Trucker. And you guys may remember a show that was on TV for a while there. I think it was called The American Trucker there. And the guy that hosted that show built a Ford cab over and made it really custom, look really killer. Kind of had a law enforcement theme to it. But anyways, American Trucker magazines from the 80s, or Ag Trucking magazines, old school. So if you have any of that, or know of anyone that wants to sell some of that stuff, definitely just message me up or comment down below in the comments, and I'll get you hooked up with him. Secondly, a gentleman in Pittsburgh was asking me about anyone that might remember a trucking company that was called Artum, A-R-T-U-M, or Artim, A-R-T-I-M, Trucking, or Artman Steel. It was a trucking company out of Pittsburgh back 75, 76-ish, 70s era. And he's looking specifically to find some pictures if he can. They used to haul steel coils on flatbeds. So if that is a company that any of you are familiar with, please let me know and I'll hook you up with him. He is looking for information in that regard. And item number 3, I'm going to inset some pics. I'm going to try to move to the side here. I'm going to inset some pics of a 1953 630 GMC with a Detroit 471 engine. It looks and runs great, but they're looking to sell it. So if that's something that tickles your fancy, get a hold of me and I will make the connection. And if I can, I do believe they gave me information. Yes, they did. I'm looking on my phone here. They gave me permission to put their phone number out there. So what I will do on those pictures, I'll put the phone number and you can call them direct. Just save the hassle to me, all right? So if you're interested in that. So there's 3 items of business, and I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but we'll get it in. I try to do what I say when you guys ask me, if I can. So without further ado, let's salute the General. Welcome back to the channel. It's Dane Scott from Dane Scott's Truckers Lounge. Got another GMC treat for you today here at my buddy Wayne's house, and he's going to tell us all about this killer General.
Well, I picked this up just over a year ago. Found it up here in just outside of Erie, Pennsylvania. Guy had it at a diesel garage. Wasn't really suiting his needs, so he was planning on pedaling it off, and I stumbled onto it and always wanted a General since I was, of course, GMC legacy.
Right.
When Dad and I were driving the old 54, I was jonesing after one of these. And some things changed. I liquidated a couple of trucks and made some room, and finally was able to drag this one home. It's an 87. I understand they quit making them about that time, 87. I think there was a few late or a few early 88s, I think.
I think the Brigadier was 86, my last year's.
I believe, now I haven't found any verification of this, but I believe it was a long-term rider lease truck.
Okay.
The way it's spec'd, I kind of sort of got to believe that.
Right.
Just a 9-speed, 400 Cummins, does have Jakes. Drug it home. First thing I had to do was like fork out a bunch of money for a radiator. And after that, it was just all the normal stuff that just occurs when they sit.
You mean this hobby costs money?
Oh my Lord. If I had the money back, there'd be a mansion sitting on this hill instead of my humble little abode there. But yeah, I just been tinkering with it over the winter and just trying to make it right. I'm not trying to build a trophy truck. I'm not trying to make an award winner. I covet the originality of the old trucks, the old iron.
I agree.
When they're working, they've got battle scars. They're not pristine. They're not perfect. And
not into trailer queens.
Yeah.
I want to drive these buddies.
And just to keep them alive, just to keep them, so maybe another generation can have the same experience, that we have been fortunate enough to have. To me, that's invaluable.
Yeah.
So if I do nothing else than just keep it mechanically sound and get it out and drive it once in a while,
That's
I'm
the thrill.
perfectly okay with that. But
wrenching on them, driving them.
yeah, and the knowledge factor, modern trucks, say what you will about them, they're a necessity, and we all rely on them, but they just don't have what the old trucks have.
No,
I think,
old school vibe at all.
yeah, I think that's pretty much a common theme in our little world here.
Yeah.
But it's got its little blems. It's not perfect. It's not pristine. She's an old workhorse. It's got 357,000 miles on it, if the speedometer is correct, odometer is correct.
She's wearing her work clothes, right?
She's wearing her work clothes. Tires and brakes and some driveline components and a little bit of paint and just nothing major, just a whole lot of little time-consuming stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Some hoses and some belts and some exhaust and some radiator.
Oh, yeah.
And just try to keep her in one piece and keep her moving. In a perfect world, I'd love to paint that engine, but you know how that goes.
Well, yeah. That's a winter project.
That's
there.
a winter project. That's probably an all-winter project.
Now, are you looking for any parts? So anybody that sees this?
Well, I tell you, General parts are just like hen's teeth, and anybody that has anything for a General, I would certainly love to hear about, whether I need it or not.
Yeah.
Because you never know what you might need down the road someday.
Sure.
But yeah, anybody that's got a General that's going to pot, going to waste, it wants to forfeit some parts, give up some parts, I'd certainly entertain making a purchase on them.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed both of those cool trucks of Wayne's. He is a GMC man, that's for sure. So stick around town, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell so you know when I post another video. Till then, keep the hammer down, safe and sound.